Across Africa, Sudan signs deal separating state and religion. In business, telecom subscribers in Nigeria dropped by 11.8 million. On the global scene, fire evacuates hundreds from oil refinery in Indonesia. And in sport, LOC official says federal government yet to release funds for sports festival in Nigeria. Details shortly. This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Okwade, and this is TOS News 360. The Nigerian Institute of Electrical Engineering has tasked members to prioritize professionalism as they discharge their duties to the society. The institute, through its national president, Dr. Kings Adeyemi, gave the charge at an event organized to indoctrinate members of the institute into the Nigerian Institute of Electrical Fellow and presentation of honorary awards to deserving members. According to some newly inducted members and also the national president of the Nigerian Association of Engineering, Kings Adeyemi, the ceremony, which takes place once or twice every year, indicates the peak of one's career and an opportunity to give back to the society the wealth of knowledge bestowed upon them. Some of the newly inducted fellows who spoke to newsmen believe the honor conferred on them is a call to do more.
A fellow is the highest grade any member of the institute can attain. The minimum qualification is that you must have registered with Korean /NSC for the minimum of 10 years. And before you can register with Korean and NSC, you must have about 5 years experience. So those that you see being conferred today are professionals that have about 15 years experience in their various fields.
Because of some of the things that we have done, some of the exposures we have had, and then number of years that we've been in the field, the institute have found also worthy of the conferment, and I see this day as a personal honor to me that I was found worthy, and that's why we are here to celebrate to the glory of God.
This award is actually the highest peak. That is the peak of everyone's career. And to be a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, it shows you have really attained the peak of your career and you need to do more for the society.
With this utilization of this frequency now for the GSM operators, it means it will create more employment for people, because we now have a lot of broadband technologies and everything that will coexist in UHF band. So it will also improve our economic status.
Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, says the present administration never promised to make 1 naira equal to $1. He said this in a television interview as he noted that such claims do not exist and remains false. Mr. Adesina pointed that the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, had previously debunked the claims. He said anyone with clips on when such statement was made should make them available. He said for the country to move forward, Nigerians must avoid negative criticisms made towards the president and the current administration. Leaders of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors are set to begin a nationwide strike from Thursday. According to a statement signed by a stakeholder of NARD, the union said that industrial action would be total and indefinite if the federal government fails to meet its demands. The doctors called for the immediate payment of all salaries owed, including March salaries, before the end of March 31. The union still made up their mind for an upward review of the current hazard allowance to 50% of the consolidated basic salaries of all health workers, as well as the payment of the outstanding COVID-19 inducement allowance. The Minister for State Resources, Chief Timper Silva, says a whole lot of Nigerians are facing energy poverty despite the huge natural gas resources in the country. Silva made this known on Monday at the pre-summit conference of the 2021 Nigeria International Petroleum Summit titled The Decade of Gas. In the event held in Abuja, the minister said the economic recovery and growth plan of the regime of the current administration revolve around the utilization of natural gas. The National Identity Management Commission has launched a new mobile web service application and improved national identity number slips for public use. This is coming ahead of deadline expiration for linkage of subscribers' identity module, which is SIM cards with national identity numbers, on the 9th of April. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Pantami, through the Director General, Chief Executive Officer of the NIMC, Engineer Aliyu A. Aziz, took charge of the launch. Meanwhile, Head of Corporate Communications from NIMC, Kayode Adegoke, said the NIMC app comes with improved national identification number slip for public use. This is your Digital First Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360, stories from across Africa after the break. Welcome back. Across Africa, the Sudanese Transitional Government represented by the head of the Sovereignty Council, Lieutenant General Abdel Fattah, and the Sudan People's Liberation Movement, North, on Sunday signed a declaration of principles that forms the basis for resolving the conflict in Sudan. According to the text of the Declaration of Principles, it was agreed to work together to achieve the sovereignty and independence and territorial integrity of Sudan, and to recognize the plurality of ethnicities, religions, and culture in the country, and the need to achieve justice in the distribution of power and wealth among all people and regions of Sudan, to eliminate the developmental, cultural, and religious marginalization, bearing in mind the specificity of conflict areas. The agreement also seeks to separate religion and the state. It says, no religion shall be imposed on anyone, and the state shall not adopt any official religion, the signed document states. The agreement was signed with the SPLM North, a predominantly Christian rebel group that operates in the Nuba Mountains. Following a deadly ambush on the convoy by Islamist militants in northern Mozambique, as many as 60 people, mostly foreign citizens from France, Britain, and South Africa, are unaccounted for. According to recordings of security calls, only 7 vehicles in a convoy of 17 made it to safety after the attack on Friday, with 7 confirmed dead and many injured in the recovered vehicles. Everyone in the other vehicles is assumed dead. The harrowing details of the attack comes after reports that South Africa was considering sending military forces as part of a mission to rescue its civilians left in the town. The insurgents are known locally as Al-Shabaab, although they do not have any known connection to Somalia's jihadist rebels of that name. The rebels have been active in Cabo Delgado province since 2017, but their attacks became much more frequent and deadly in the past years. Now, Egyptian authorities have ordered the arrest of 8 people that comprise of the 2 drivers, their 2 assistants, the guards of a traffic control tower, the head of traffic control, and the 2 other guards over last week's fatal train collision that killed 18 people, according to the prosecutor's office. The number of those killed in the tragedy has been reduced to 18, down from 19 cited by the health minister on Saturday. Egypt has seen frequent accidents on its railway system, due in part to poor maintenance and lack of investment. One of the deadliest train disasters occurred in 2002 when 373 people died after a fire broke out on a train traveling south of Cairo. Jubaland and Puntland leaders have reportedly been convinced to take part in talks aimed at ending the electoral deadlock in the Somalia region. The 2 regional heads met with their Gamdog, Southwest, and Hishba counterparts and reached an understanding that talks with the central government should resume in Mogadishu. Puntland and Jubaland previously refused to participate in a meeting with President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo, arguing he must not chair the talks as his term ends on February 8. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. Up next is Business News. Thanks for staying tuned. You are still watching TOS News 360. In business, from the latest statistics released by the Nigerian Communications Commission, the number of telecom subscribers in the country dropped by 11.84 million in 4 months. The recent report shows that the telecommunications operators in the country have recorded another loss of 4.13 million active subscribers in February of 2021. The telcos had lost 46,648 subscribers in November of 2020 after a drop of 3.38 million subscribers in December of 2020 and then a loss of 4.29 million subscribers in January of 2021. A multi-billion-dollar gas development in Mozambique is facing renewed threat after an Islamic insurgent assault forced Total to suspend work for the second time this year. Reports have it that insurgents attacked Palma, a town 10 kilometers from the $20 billion project in the northern Cabo Delgado region last week. Several foreign workers were killed. According to Total, its workers were not among the victims, but its absolute priority was to ensure the safety and security of the people working on the project. Total, who had only just announced it was restarting the project, has made plans to reduce workforce on the liquefied natural gas project to a strict minimum. In Kenya, the Nairobi Securities Exchange reported a 109% increase in net profit for the year that ended in December of 2020, with a 167.9 million Kenyan shillings increment in its profit after tax. In 2020, the company stated a cost optimization exercise that led to a reduction in staff-related expenses, product development expenses, and administrative expenses. Total revenue declined to 584 million Kenyan shillings at the end of 2020. NSE, however, says the expectation of economic and market performance in 2021 is stable, driven by prospects of a gradual economic recovery. A dividend recommendation of 0.53 Kenyan shillings per share for the year 2020 followed. On May 7th of 2020, the European Union had announced that it put past 12 countries on the list of places with weak or deficiencies in anti-money laundering and terrorism financing laws. Ghana was one of them, but the European Union is set to remove Ghana from the list of money laundering and terrorist financing countries. Diana Akondia, head of the EU delegation to Ghana, disclosed that the Union is taking this action due to the progress Ghana has made in taking corrective measures to deal with the issues raised by the Financial Action Task Force. Right now, the Union is waiting for the FATF report to take further action on the issue because the weakness identified in these countries pose a serious risk to their financial system. The action taken by the EU had a negative impact on some banks. Ghana is dealing with cases of financial misbehaviors as the Auditor General has released a report of the state of public institutions in 2019 with overwhelming details that reveal financial misbehaviors across all state institutions cost the country 5.46 billion Ghana cedis. The document shows that these criminal acts were recorded between Mahama's administration of 2015 and Akufo-Addo's regime in 2019. According to the Auditor General, financial irregularities refer misbehaviors in the payment of salaries, procurement of logistics, disbursement of loans, and other critical revelations. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. Up next is Global Watch. Welcome back on the global scene. On Monday, more than 900 residents of nearby Balonga village moved to 2 evacuation centers after a massive fire broke out at the Pertamina Bologna refinery in Indonesia's West Java province, officials said. The Indonesian authorities have urged residents to remain calm and stay away from the fire. 4 people got injured while passing through the area. They suffered burns and are being treated at the regional hospital, the local disaster mitigation agency said. According to the authorities, the cause of the fire was not clear, but there was lightning and heavy rain at the time the massive fire broke out. Reports on television showed explosions as black smoke and orange flames filled the sky. The fire appeared localized at a set of 4 tanks in the middle of the refinery. The fire was concentrated in the refinery storage unit, and there had been no impact on the processing plant, Pantamina said. The Balongnan plant has a refining capacity of about 125 barrels of crude oil a day. It supplies fuels to Jakarta, Banten, and some regions of West Java. The Prime Minister of Australia, Scott Morrison, has reshuffled some important cabinet members as he tries to address some of the sexual misconduct scandals that have happened under his government. Morrison has removed Minister Christian Porter and Linda Reynolds from their positions. Porter, who was the Attorney General, had earlier taken mental health leave after relieving being accused of raping a 16-year-old girl 33 years ago. Linda Reynolds was removed from the defense portfolio, but she will also remain in cabinet as government service minister. Reynolds, who was the defense minister, had been heavily criticized for not supporting a young staffer who allegedly was raped by a more senior colleague 2 years ago. Michaela Cash will become the new Attorney General, and Peter Dutton will take over as the defense minister. Porter will be reassigned to industry minister, while Reynolds will also become the government service minister. On the entertainment scene, the Cameroonian movie Therapy, produced by Emmeline Simo Saka, has made history as the first Cameroonian movie on the global streaming platform Netflix. The movie featured some of Nigeria's finest in the industry, like Richard Mofe-Damijo, Ireti Doyle, alongside Jing, Alene Magnat, Lucy Memba, Neba Godwill, and child actor Kayla Merritt, among others. The story of the movie, written by Fokwa Babila, follows a dysfunctional couple who procure the services of an unusual therapist in an attempt to solve their marital differences. The movie is also co-directed by Anurin and Musin Derrick and Victoria Akijobi as the film editor. Nollywood actress Ruth Kadiri has said colleagues in the industry should be ready to face her wrath and get lashing from her if they support old and second-hand politicians. The 33-year-old actress, who took to her Instagram on Monday, expressed disgust and preparation to call out any of her colleagues who support all the old and second-hand politicians in the forthcoming elections in 2023. She further advised colleagues not to be a sellout and fight for a better and new Nigeria. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. Up next is sports. Thank you for staying tuned. In sports, reports say that the federal government of Nigeria is yet to release the fund it promised to Edo State for the hosting of the 2020 National Sports Festival, with less than a week for it to begin. Musa, a project manager in the Media and Communications Subcommittee of the festival's local organizing committee, made this known on Sunday. He told journalists that while the Edo State government is hopeful about the fund, an early release would be better. Alex Iwobi has tested positive to COVID-19, will not be present at the Nigeria's final 2021 AFCON Nations qualifier against Lesotho. The Everton player tested positive on Saturday before the win against Benin and returned to Nigeria with other members of the team. Eagles spokesman Babafemi Raji also confirmed the departure of Iwobi from the Eagles camp. And that is TOS News 360 on your digital first Pan-African News Network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com to follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube to stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Okwade. Thank you for watching.